This made me giggle. Hi friends, so today is part 2 of my summerish book reading recommendations, books that I've gotten from other booktubers and from Book Talk. And as you saw in my last video, I did 3 books. So this video, I'm gonna do 3 more. So I'm super excited. I'm not gonna lie, I've already finished The Paradise Problem and I'm halfway through Funny Story. So let's get into it. First 100 pages, bleh. But like once you get to page 100, so much better. This is honestly giving me like Crazy Rich Asian vibes, and I think that's why I'm like hardcore into it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know, it's literally just giving me like Crazy Rich Asians, and I loved that series, so I think I'm really gonna like this now that I'm past the 100 page mark. I finished I finished it in 2 days. I have so many thoughts, but I'm really tired, so I'm gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna update you on my thoughts tomorrow. Right now, post just like finishing book thoughts, I was gonna give it a 3.5. I think I might give it a 4. It was pretty good. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I finished this book in 2 days, which is kind of wild because I don't think I've finished a book in 2 days ever. So I think I would give this guy, I was like debating between a 3.5 and a 4. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 just because it held my attention. Like, I was, after the first 100 pages, my mom was right, my attention grabbed. I think I liked it so much though because it kind of reminded me of Crazy Rich Asians. It was like Crazy Rich Asians plus a little bit of something extra at the end, like more plot, but I won't spoil it. It is like a billionaire romance, forced proximity a little bit, but I did really like the characters. Let me just say, this book made me feel things that I haven't felt, like actual anger that I haven't felt in so long, which is kind of crazy. Like, the dad in this book, if you've read it, you'll understand. I wanted to fight this dad. My first Christina book, really liked it. I think I want to read some of her other ones. I know The Honeymooners is on a lot of people's like lists that they really like, but I think this gave me summer vibes, if that makes sense. Like Beach Read, I finished Beach Read a couple days ago. That didn't give me the summer vibes that I thought it would. This one gave me summer vibes. Like, I could read this at the beach by the pool, like in my backyard, because my backyard has a pool. But no, I think this surpassed my expectations because they started off very low in the first 100 pages. But I really liked them. I think the epilogue was a bit too long for my liking. I think they could have just ended it or skipped a little bit at the beginning. But overall, great. This was a spicy book. And I wasn't expecting that. It was very spicy. I don't think spicy books are for me, but just to let you know, if you haven't read it, there are some spicy parts, and I was like, okay. I read ahead a little bit and just skipped them because I don't think that's for me. But other than that, it was great. I loved it. Surpassed my expectations, 4 stars for sure. Up next, we have Funny Story by Miss Emily Henry. I got this at Costco. I made a TikTok about finding this at Costco, so go follow me on TikTok if you want to watch that. Oh my gosh, not the croc in the back, oh my gosh. I'm very excited to read this. I know this has somewhat of some mixed reviews. Some people have said that it's not what they were expecting. Again, I have no expectations for this. I kind of know what this is about. Like 2 people who become roommates because their exes fell in love or something, and yeah. And then also I've heard that the guy in this book gives huge Nick Miller vibes, and I love New Girl, so I'm really excited for that. Oh, maybe that's the croc. That would explain a lot, actually. Oh, look how pretty. Okay, let's start this. I don't think I'm going to finish this in 2 days, but if it's good, then who knows. Oh my gosh, is the font? Guys, okay, so remember in my Happy Place video, I was like, the font isn't Times New Roman, but I don't know what font it is, and I had to give that book back because it's a library book. This has the font. I'm gonna insert a clip. This has the font that I really like. Oh, I'm happy now. Oh, I'm more excited to read this. Okay. Thoughts so far on Funny Story. I know that a lot of people have said, there have been like mixed reviews. A lot of people have said it's not like her previous writing and that they like it less. A lot of people said that she can do no wrong and that this was just as good and it lived up to all of her other books. I'm not really halfway in. I would say a little more than a quarter in, and I really like it. I'm having a great time. I like this so much more than Beach Read, and I don't know how controversial this could be, but in my last video I talked about Beach Read and how it just didn't live up to the hype for me. This is really good. I really like it. I like how it's in a small town, like small town vibes, super fun. There is a beach in the story. I feel like there's always a beach in her stories actually. I really like Daphne. I really like Daphne. I like Daphne a lot better than some of the other main characters in her other stories. Miles is funny. This kind of gives me like, I live close to Toronto, so I'm in Canada. This gives me like, if anyone knows Prince Edward County vibes, those are kind of like the vibes I'm picking up on. It's like somewhat of a wine country in Ontario, and it's just giving me like small town vibes, and I really like it. And I didn't think I would like this story as like the plot line as much as I do, because it's basically about two roommates who like they become roommates because their significant others got together, if that makes sense. So Daphne's fiance fell in love with Miles' girlfriend, sort of thing. So now their ex-significant others are together and they're living together because their living situation is just not the best. So that's how like they came to be, and I didn't think I would like that, but I'm like eating it up. I love it. Such a good plot. So let's continue. Again, high praise for not even being like more than a quarter in, or a little more than a quarter in, but I'm really excited. It's so good so far. I honestly think this has the potential to be like a 5-star maybe. Right now it's sitting at like a 4.5. I don't know, it's just so, I like it. Again, potentially controversial opinion, but I like it a lot better than Beach Read. Like so much better already. I love how she sprinkled like the little crossover in though, and how they went to North Bear Shores. I was like, oh wait, I get this reference. I get it. But it's so good. I really like it. I'm so glad that I picked up this one after Beach Read, because I think if I read this and then Beach Read, I would have been very disappointed. But it's going really good. I'm kind of hoping to finish it this weekend. I don't have a lot left. I could potentially finish it today, but that's like, I think that would be very ambitious for me because it's a Friday, so I still have to work. But maybe after work, we'll see. I don't know. This one, I love this one so much. This is definitely my favorite book of Emily Henry's I've read. I've only read 2 others, Happy Place and Beach Read, but this by far like blows them away. It's just so good. I love it. Based off of the synopsis though, I didn't think I would like it because it just sounded so messy and like complicated, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like fun to me. But basically when I was like, okay, I'm gonna use names because it gets confusing, but basically Daphne and Peter were engaged, and then Peter broke up with Daphne because he fell in love with his childhood bestie, Petra. Daphne moves in with Miles, who is Petra's ex, because Petra leaves Miles for Peter. That's what I'm just saying. But it seems really confusing, but I loved it so much, and I think I went in with like not super high expectations because I just came off of Beach Read, and I didn't like that as much as I thought I would. I thought it was gonna be a 5-star, and I give it a 3.5. So I don't know, I just didn't have high expectations, but this was so good. Like, I want to live in their town. Like, that sounds like the ideal town for me, like the ideal place for me to be. That's where I want my life to go. It's just like small beach town, like just sounds so cute. I really related to Daphne in, I guess, more ways than January or Harriet. just because there's some instances where she's like, oh, Miles is just being nice to me, he doesn't actually want to do this, so I feel bad, I feel like an inconvenience because he's doing something for me even though he doesn't want to do it. But when she had to learn, like, oh no, he actually wanted to do it because he wanted to, like, he did it because he wanted to do it. He's like, just let me do it because I want to, I'm not doing it out of like pity for you. And I was like, oh, I don't know, some of those things I was like, oh, I relate to that in like my life. And I have so many people around me who just like love and support me so much. So I was like, I don't know, it just, that really hit home. That was just, it was so good. Also, the people said that this gave them New Girl vibes, which it kind of did, but Miles kind of reminds me of like a softer, more gentler Nick Miller. Nick just makes me laugh. He reminds me, I don't know if people watched the show and read the book, I hope that makes sense. He just seems like a little softer than Nick Miller. Also Petra, the fact that her name is Petra, I thought of Jane the Virgin Petra, and she kind of like matches the description, not really, but kind of. So that's the only person I thought about every time I read this. I don't know, the characters were just so good. Like, it made me laugh, it made me giggle, it made me like kick my feet up and get all giddy. I really love this one, and I get what people mean by when they say like, oh, Emily Henry's books are like comfort reads to me, like they'll come back and like reread Happy Place or Beach Read. I think this is gonna be my reread of like every summer. It's just so good and I love it so much. There's a line in here that made me giggle when Daphne was like, oh, I'm old enough to have a kid named Renesmee. And I was like, the Twilight reference, that made me laugh. I actually think I wrote in the book, let me find it. I highlighted it and I was like, oh, this made me giggle. This was funny. Let me find it. Oh yeah, see? This made me giggle. It was funny. But yeah, this just has such a special place in my heart. I love it so much. 5 stars. I don't really have anything bad to say about it. I know it got mixed reviews, but like, I love it. I love it so much. Okay, we took a detour to the library because I'm on a book, well, I put myself on a book buying ban. So hence the library. But I'm looking for Elin Hilderbrand, so hopefully I can find at least one of her books. I'm sure that they will have multiple, so fingers crossed. I wanted to get People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, but there are none available. So we're gonna go with the next best thing, which might be better because I've already read 2 Emily Henry books within the span of like 2.5 weeks. So this is good. Let's go find a book. Okay, I made it. That was kind of scary because I didn't know where it was, but I found it. I got Hotel Nantucket because the little blurb, synopsis if you would like to call it, it sounded more interesting to me than 28 Summers. I wasn't too interested in the politician one. So let's see how this goes. We're gonna go home and we're gonna start reading. Did I mention I finished Funny Story today? I finished it and was like, I need a new book. I need a new summer book. I have some other books, but I was like, my brain's already categorized them as like fall books. So I needed a new summer book. Waiting for yours truly to come in so then I can read just for the summer. We'll read both of them. Yeah, okay, let's go home. I'm halfway through, I think. I wanted to DNF it. I really did. But here I am still going. I'm waiting for Yours Truly to come in by Abby Jimenez. It's a library book, so I'm waiting. So this is kind of like my buffer in between, and I really want to DNF it. Like, it's good. I just don't think it's for me. That's the conclusion I've come to. And I still have so much left. Like, oh my gosh. Technically it's been 3 days. 4 days, because Monday I got it on Friday. But Saturday I didn't read it all. So I'm counting it as 3 days, and I'm halfway through. And I was like, I don't know, guys. I would give this a 2.5 stars. I think it was a good book, just not for me. I was not invested. There were so many characters, so many storylines going on. Like, I was invested in the last 50 pages. To me, the last 50 to 100 pages is when I started like getting invested and like wanting to know what was going on. Like, they were answering all the questions and stuff. I just don't think it was for me. It was summer. It did give me summer vibes, which is what I wanted, but like, I don't know. I don't think it was for me, which is okay because not every book is going to be for me. I don't know if I really want to read anything else by her. Maybe next summer. I don't know, because I know that she has quite a few. But it just didn't hit the way that I thought it would. And it could also be because I'm coming off of a high, because Funny Story was a 5 stars. It's just so good. But I don't know. It was on the same, like it was on Nantucket. Same vibes as like The Summer of Broken Rules. But like the difference, like I didn't vibe with this. Maybe some of the things just went over my head because a lot of what I've been reading has been like YA. I feel like this was just like adult fiction. Maybe it just went over my head. Maybe I'm not ready for this. Maybe next year. I don't know. It just didn't hit. I wasn't super invested at all. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what else to say. I was close to DNFing it so many times, if you guys like saw the clips, but I didn't. Once I got halfway, I was like, okay, I'm halfway, I might as well just finish it. So I finished it. That's all I really have to, I finished it. Here are the 3 physical books I read. I also listened to The Newcomer. Not my favorite either. It did give me beachy vibes though, because they're on the like beach, and I don't know. So basically that one was about Letty, and her sister was murdered, and so basically she like takes her niece and they go to the beach, and they live at a beach motel, and she befriends like the owner and her family and like all the regulars at the hotel, while her niece's dad is trying to like find her because like technically she kidnapped the child, but like her sister, before she died, she's like, no, take my kid, like I don't want her anywhere near her dad. I don't know, it was very like, I didn't read anything going into it, so I thought it was gonna be like a fun, we're at a beach resort, like just like fluffy. It wasn't really fluffy. I think I would give that also a 2.5, maybe 3. No, 2.5. Didn't really like it, but I feel like having 2 really good books and 2 like alright books, I feel like that's a pretty good like track record. I don't know, this Funny Story was my favorite, and I know a lot of people said that they didn't really like Funny Story, like it didn't hit like the rest. I thought it was so cute. I loved it. But yeah, these were all of the books plus The Newcomer that I read that like really did kind of put me in a summery mood. It's end of July when I'm filming this now, so I don't really know if I'm gonna read any more like specifically summer themed book, like look for books that are summer themed. So we'll see what else happens. I like these like seasonal reading vlogs. I don't know, I think they're fun, so I think I'll do some for like autumn and winter and spring. I don't know, I think it's just so fun. But thank you guys for spending a little bit of time with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.